3 minutes late, so it's fine. It's cool, man. All right, cool. We're live, man. All
All
right,
right.
so all right. Can't see anything as to who's signed up or anything. Just like always. So whoever's on there, I have somebody taking a look at the questions that you guys may have. So first of all, tell me where you guys are from, if there's anybody there, and tell me where you guys are from, and start putting your questions in. But first of
Florida.
all, do I have a treat for you guys? Today, I'm excited to talk to Damon Hart from Foxy Homebuyer. He's an investor, wholesaler, and a creative strategies expert. But first, I have to do some housekeeping. Have some special announcements for you guys. Um, one second, there you go. All right, so we will be in less than a month. We'll be launching the beta version of our platform of Market Ninja, where you'll get instant access to nationwide buyers that will buy your deals, because the platforms only sends your deal to buyers whose buying criteria matches your deal. Plus, you'll get our A through Z wholesaling blueprint, which will teach you it how to get and close your first deal, and keep getting deals. And if you're brand new, and if you already have closed the deal, I will teach you how to build a system to fill up your deal pipeline and keep it full. Many other features are still being built, are including a member Q&A calls, just like this one, with industry experts, and mentor matching services. Uh, to guide you in your wholesaling career. If you would like to be a part of this incredibly limited group, you can do so by clicking on the link below. Actually, I don't have a link. Just send me an email. Email to email me at ninja@offmarketninja.com. Um, and that will give you a free, deeply discounted price of $30 per month. You get full access to a platform, and for being one of our founding members, helping us build out our platform, you'll be able to keep your $30 per month price for life, as long as you're still a member. We're only letting 30 people into this beta group, so make sure you signed up. It will expire by the end of May, well, actually, the beginning of May, end of April. And I'm giving you this opportunity to get in before I offer it up to my students and the other followers that we have. Uh, and also, by the way, we have our daily wholesaling courses, uh, only for $5. We will be covering wholesaling basics, and they'll be offered in the month of April only, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. via Zoom. It may go longer depending. It's for an hour only. It may go longer depending on how many questions we have, and I'm not leaving until every student gets their questions answered. So that's with that. That's the housekeeping. So let's go back. Damon. So help me welcome Foxy Home Buyer's foxiest home buyer, Damon Hart. Hold on a second. Foxy's home buyer, creative strategies expert, Damon the Foxy home buyer Hart, right?
Yeah, that's right. The
That's
Foxy
it.
home buyer.
The Foxy home buyer. I've been watching your videos. I know
Right, right.
how you hold on a second. Let me think. Stop sharing. There we go. There he is. All right, man. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. Yeah, man. Really good to see you. Thank you. Thanks for having me tonight.
Yeah, I'm really excited, man. You're actually one of my. I consider you my mentor. You're my friend. You're a fellow wholesaler. So I'm really excited to talk to you today, man. Is it called Foxy Home Buyer because Foxy, or
Because of the
what?
look.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like to tell people that, and it's obvious. It could go either way, right? It could be because of the looks, but
Right.
in all honesty, when it started out, I wasn't that creative. Actually, my wife was the one that helped me with the name.
Okay.
Because as an entrepreneur, you don't have all this resources. You just started from the mud, as they say. So I came to her one day and I said, I need something different. I said, I need something that'll catch people's attention, something sexy. So I said, what if we call ourselves the sexy home buyer? Like this is how creative my marketing mind works, right? And
Right,
she within 3 seconds, she looked at me and said, "What the hell are you talking about?" So she
right.
said, give me a little bit. And she came back and she said, we gotta have something a little softer that'll appeal. I said, what about like Fox, like Foxy? And messed around with it. And I said, yeah, I buy homes.
And you ran with it. I mean, shoot. So in your marketing, it's your tagline. I mean, that's good.
Absolutely.
That's good. That's
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah. So thanks. Thanks, honey. Love it.
That's good. I mean, I came up with what off market ninja. What was it? I think one of my, not you, but my one of my mentors. I was coming up with all these strategies on how to wholesale, and like
Right.
you, and he was like, you got this, you got these ninja tricks. I was like, shit, man, that's good. I need to keep that off
Yeah.
market ninja. There you go, right?
It
So,
works. It
and
works.
the name doesn't matter when it comes to it, honestly. So, it's whatever.
Hey, and you always have it. Since the time I met you, man, you were definitely somebody that could create, opportunities, whether it was like door knocking when that was, I mean,
Sir.
it's still a thing, but like you were door knocking, bandit signs, just funky bandit signs that you would get calls on. It's just like, yeah, you were always a step ahead. I felt like
Sir.
in the off market stuff and creative ideas. So that was cool.
Same with you. Actually, I told you this before. I don't think you remember. I called you on, I think it was a house that you had, and I
Okay.
talked to you, and I thought you were the buyer. And then I took your name down, and I think my mentor at the time was like, "No, he's another wholesaler." Eventually we met up on Ria's or whatever. But yeah, that was pretty cool. So I met you before I even actually met you, which is cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah. Anyways, to those in the audience, I want to remind you guys, go ahead and put your questions for Damon. He's a creative strategies expert. Okay, so he's gonna teach you how to wholesale. What would you say, Damon? The no money kind of wholesaling, or what would you call it? Creative strategies.
Man, I would call it reality, right? Like
There you go.
most people, yeah, most people starting out. I mean, I'll share stuff that I've done and I still kind of recommend and still do it in our business, right? I mean, we've been at this probably
Yeah,
about 5 years
yeah,
and still do because, look, if you don't have to pay anything for marketing,
right,
you're all on the plus side. So
right.
I could talk about some of that stuff today here in the
Cool, cool,
call
cool.
for sure.
So let's start with tell us a bit about yourself. How you get started in real estate. Let's start there.
Yeah, man. Like, thanks for asking this question, bro. Because I don't think anyone's asked me this recently. But I started kind of like in the seminar days, right? Like before everything was online. I had just graduated out of college, and I remember asking my best friend, who's now an attorney, who's like the most skeptical guy on planet Earth, like to come with me to this seminar because I was like, yo, I think I could do this real estate thing. So he and I came to this seminar, and I remember watching that and just everything they said in this seminar, man. Uh, this is probably 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Has it been that long? Yeah, maybe 10, 15 years ago. And he says, yeah, and everything they said, I was like, yo, I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. And
Right.
then I just, at the end of the course, they were like, yo, put your credit card up. I didn't care how much it was. I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And then I went out and just learned a little bit. And it took me probably about a month to do my first deal. And I didn't do my first deal through any other marketing except for I asked my other friend who lived in Jersey at the time next to me, and he just happened to find like an old lady that had a house that she wanted to sell. It's crazy. It's like the typical old lady. Yeah, he really did find an old lady that needed to sell her house and offered her a price. I didn't run comps, like real. I didn't run the comps. I didn't run anything. All I did is I was just like 65, and I was like, all right. I turned around and I asked for 75, and I sold it. I sold to another investor and made 10,000. And I gave
So
my
you
friend
didn't
some
run
money.
numbers or anything.
Nah, nah, no, I did not, John. I was not that sophisticated. I
I
had an
mean,
idea. Go
what's
ahead.
funny? I have people ask me all the time. They're so nervous about taking the leap. Like, try to talk to my lawyer. I get the question all the time. Try to talk to my lawyer. What you did, whatever. You talk to your lawyer, who's your friend. should I talk to my lawyer? What books, what contracts I need to have? And you didn't even run numbers. My boy just went out there and just gave a number.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that that's crazy.
Yeah, man, they said, it's like a will and the way. And my friend, by the full disclaimer, my buddy wasn't an attorney back then. He was in the mortgage business. So it's not like
Oh, okay.
I was like, hey, give me advice. I didn't need no shit. All I was doing is I was like, I had this one property. We're just gonna go out. We're gonna offer on it, and I was gonna offer on it, which I did. I got on a contract. I had like this little template contract from my training. I had the
Uh,
seller sign it. I remember just like, scribbling it down, and my friend looking at me, my other friend that brought me the house. I remember him looking at me like, dude, where you getting $65,000 from? I'm like, I said, Kev, I ain't got $65,000, but I'm gonna find the person that does, and then boop, 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 and it took me about a month to do it, and here I was with $10,000.
wow. That reminds me of a deal I had. I was still working my day job, and I had gone seen this house, and I told the guy, hey, I'll get back to you or whatever. And it's funny. The guy called me in the middle of the day of work, and I just stepped outside, and it's like, he was kind of rushing for the offer. I
Yeah,
guess he had another house he was working on, and this was in Tampa, so he was working at a house in Clearwater. So he had two houses he's working on, and he was telling me the other one. So it's funny you say 65 because that's exactly what I offered him. I offered him, hey, 65, man. I didn't run numbers or anything.
see, that must be the number. But for anybody watching, if you got a house and you don't know the number, just offer a
The
65.
65 now, but for me, listen, for me it didn't work out because I went back to my mentor at the time, and he was like, "What the hell were you thinking? 65 for the POS?" So eventually we had to go back, do the numbers, and ended up getting it for 35, I think.
Uh-huh.
Sold it for 47, I think,
Okay,
and
35, 47, 12
yeah,
grand.
made some good money.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, this is the furthest apart I've ever been from somebody. He was actually he was out asking 85 in the beginning, and I
Right.
worked them all the way down to 35.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not great at math. That's almost
It's
over 40,
50,000.
$50,000
Yeah.
difference. Yeah. So yeah, for those of you who can say you can't do the deals, my boy over here is offering offers without making running numbers. I'm just doing the same, but didn't work out
Yeah.
for me.
You're doing the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend that as a long-term
Nah, nah,
strategy.
nah.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that forever. But,
Right.
you know, yeah, man. I mean, uh, for anybody that's watching this business, I guess my best piece of advice is, you talk about getting from offers from 85 to 35. And you say, well, how the heck did he get that house for so cheap? It's really simple. This business is not a a real estate business that you're in. The real two functions that you have is really marketing, and then the other is people. You can
Okay.
master those two things or get really even good at those two things, you got a shot, because the houses, they take care of themselves. They are what they are. They've been like that for a long
Right.
time. They don't change. It's the marketing that gets you in front of the owners, right? The sellers, and
Yeah.
then it's dealing with the people. There's a lot of different personalities out there. And once you get to understand how to deal with different personalities and what to present, that's when you could work your magic and make deals that people want 85, and then you end up selling it at 35 because the market will say that they get, you know?
Right.
So yeah, that's how it happens.
It's all about building that report. I mean, and I feel like it's got to work for you because I told you before this interview, I'm an introvert. I don't know what you are, but I'm an introvert, right? Cold calling and door knocking do not work for me. So if those
Got
don't
it.
work for you, just don't do it. So my personality
Yeah,
is not gonna be, I'm not gonna be able to come through on a cold call
right.
or door knocking like as I should because of who I am. So whatever works for you.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. We went in
That's
a
a good
rabbit hole there, but that's pretty cool.
that's a good point for
Yeah.
sure.
All right. So my boy, Damon, he's got a special set of skills, man. The wholesaling cheat code is what we're calling it, right?
Right.
Which is a set of strategies he uses to wholesale houses, even when a deal is seemingly not a deal. So whenever somebody like me runs the numbers. I do it all the time, and I'm like, this seller wants 150, and the house is worth 55. What are you talking about? So one of those deals. So for example, when those wholesalers throw away the deals, Damon picks them up and dusts them off, and he makes some money out of them. So it's like I'm dating myself here, but you have the cheat code. When you had that first Nintendo, you have to do the plus plus plus
Oh,
XXX or whatever, and you had a cool move. The character will do a cool move. That's what you got going on for wholesaling. So tell us a little bit about that, man. What do you do? What do you think?
well, first you have to get a nice controller, right? Like you got to have, no, but I mean, really, like the first thing that you got to be committed to when you're marketing, is follow up. And I know somebody's just like, if somebody was here right now, it's just like, oh God, follow up, dude, you're killing me. That's
Follow up. Follow up is king.
the most boring process. But tell me something dope, like like putting shirts on homeless people, like we talked about before, right? Like,
Yeah.
tell me something cool and say we buy houses and put all the homeless and walk around and be your marketing. Yeah, that sounds cool, but the rest of it is, once that person calls in on that lead, the reality is very few people that call or you get in contact with the first time
Yeah.
actually sell the first time you talk to them.
Right. It's the
That's a
fifth
fact.
or third or fifth time.
Yeah, third or fifth time. And that's where you build the rapport. So the number of touches, if you don't ever get to that, most people are gonna ultimately burn out and struggle. Because imagine if you get a lead that comes in, they call, and you're like, all right, yeah, I want to do it, blah blah blah. They're like, okay, cool. And then nothing happens after. Either you don't follow up, or you don't feel that they, that, or maybe you give them an offer they're not ready right now, and then you let that deal just go away. You're gonna struggle because you're only gonna get one hits. You're like Milli Vanilli, and I'll date myself. You're one hit wonders. You're just gonna do one deal, and that's it. I mean, you're gonna do one call rather, and that's it. You're never gonna talk to those people again. So follow up is key. And then the next thing is, you gotta just have more than one strategy if you want to be able to, make it in this business, because not every deal is gonna be a wholesale deal.
Right.
That's that's my experience. We are going after wholesale deals to make scenarios happen or contracts happen, but not every deal is going to be a wholesale deal. So let me give you an example. Everybody right now, it has been preaching for the last probably better part of 5 years, 70% plus repair or minus repairs, and that's the number I want to get it at, right? Okay, cool. But if you look around the market right now, it's pretty hot because of the lack of inventory in some markets. So to get those types of numbers is pretty rare. So people are willing to do less margin. Like most of the buyers are out there, I find, are buying it like 80% minus repairs, minus like maybe another 10 or 15 in our markets that we work for the wholesale fee. So they'll be okay with a 20% return on the after repair value. That's how we price our deals. So if they don't fit in that box, then I want to know, because I've had multiple touches after talking to them, right? I've
Yeah.
talked to them more than once. Now I want to know, well, what the heck is it that you really want? Like, most of my conversations with sellers, it's like, okay, well, aside from me giving you a call today, Mr. Seller, what is it that why would you even want to sell this house? Like, why not even just hold on to it? Sounds like a pretty nice house. And those few words will unlock a lot of their motivation behind selling, so that I could kind of come and create a solution for them. You follow me?
Yeah.
So it's not so much like, okay, let me get an offer out and then pound offers, offers, offers. That's true. You do have to get out offers in order to get responses. But a lot of it is understanding the motivation of the person in front of you, because offer A might not fit. Well, what about B? That's what we want to find out in talking with people. Make
So
sense?
yeah. So what you do, from what I'm getting from you, you're not always buying a 70%, is what you're saying, right?
Now, rarely are we doing that these days. Yep,
Okay, because of the market, right?
yep, yep.
And you're giving people different offers. Like offer A is this, offer B is this, and I'm assuming one of those offers is cash. Uh,
Yes. Correct.
Okay. But
Everybody
then
gets a cash offer, whether you like
okay.
it or not. Yep.
Okay, but not always you would say like what's the percentage of people actually going for the cash offer? Because that's usually the lack of a better term is usually the worst deal
Yeah.
for the person, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So everybody gets a cash offer, and the cash offer can vary. We do things a little different in the sense that most people want to just do cash to then sell to rehabbers, but we also have a pretty decent clientele of hedge funds that want to buy as well. So the hedge funds, their margins are a little bit different because they're looking for properties that they can buy and hold as long as they fit a specific criteria. So for anybody, again, if you're watching, like hedge funds are going to be here. Remember, I told you they're going to be here, and they're going to be here for a long time, and
Yeah.
they're going to be buying strong. And the reason is they have a lot of the capital that's coming out of Wall Street, and they're making into these funds to then capitalize on this on this inventory. They want to have cash flow, and the best solid way to get cash flow is still real estate for the most part. So these guys are getting into these businesses or these enterprises, if you will, and they're just sucking up everything. One hedge fund, just in like friggin' Florida alone, like in one market, no, three markets, they bought 90 houses last month.
Wow.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always been curious about this. So I'm more old school when it comes to wholesaling.
Okay.
The touch and the meeting somebody and talking to that somebody. How do you
Okay.
get into hedge funds? Like how do you put yourself out there to where
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
do you
So
do it?
this is gonna be the first first strategy, right? Like the off market ninja slash creative approach. And it's not complicated, man. Like you just find out because you guys talk between other wholesalers and that sort of thing. I would just go ahead and look for the action, like look for the properties that are popping, like the ones that are selling, like the cash sales. Look at the cash sales in your county. Okay. So let's say I got in the last 30 days, I have cash sales from the XYZ entity and everybody else. So now you have a list of how many. You just go ahead and sort that list, and then you'll see right there, there's going to
Okay,
be some repeat buyers.
gotcha.
Okay. And then to find out if they're a hedge fund or not, just look up their address. Really, it's not that's probably like $1 million giveaway right there.
Yeah,
You
that's
you just
awesome.
you just go and see their address. You Google their address. Usually, you can find the phone number behind it. And that's just a little tip I'm giving because people came on and came on the call. But
So
that's
so
it.
I I always say that if you're not spending, I mean, this is true for life. This is for everything. If you're not spending time, you're spending money. So it looks like on that you're gonna be spending some time, putting the list together of recent sales and kind of going through the addresses or whatever, and seeing who sold what. Now, do you do like a cold call to those people? Do that something like
Absolutely.
that? Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
in that instance, what you're gonna do is you're gonna call the company and you're gonna say, "Hey, I see that you guys are buying several properties here. I have some off-market opportunities that come my way. I'd like to know who I could speak to in your either acquisitions department or somebody responsible for purchasing." And usually, again, it's a corporation. So what did I say is the most important thing with any kind of endeavor? You got to follow up.
Yeah,
So you might call that person. You might get it's Monday. You might get Juanita. She's not trying to hit nothing. Tuesday might get Becky. She's out to lunch and she said she was gonna call you back, but she didn't. You know what I mean? And then you'll get transferred to somebody else until you get a few phone calls in, and then you finally get to the person you need to.
right.
That's how it works. And sometimes you'll just stumble across people just being in the market. So, but that's my direct way. If you know who's buying, and that's probably my kind of like second advice to most new wholesalers is they always say like, oh, I want to get the property. I want to get the property. To me, if I was going to start all over again from day one, I wouldn't go after the properties. I go after the buyers.
Right. Make that
Yeah,
relationships.
I go after all the serious buyers. And here's why. If you have the buyer, right, the guy or the girl or the corporation with the money, now what you can do is you can turn around and say, okay, what do you guys want to buy? I want to buy X, Y, and Z, and I'll blah blah blah. Okay, cool. Now you're in the wholesale game. Can't you go to somebody else and be like, yo, bring me a property that looks like this,
Right.
and I got a buyer for it. You think that person's gonna say, oh man, I'm not interested? He only got 30 days on his contract if he's lucky, right? He's trying to move that thing as fast as he possibly can. And you got a serious buyer that's for sure to close because you saw it's a corporate buyer, they got money, or they're a repeat buyer in the market. You see they've closed several deals, so you know they have the money. That's what you want to put together. That's what you want to put out there.
And a shameless plug out here. Now we have Off Market Ninja. We're gonna have the properties listed, off market properties listed, just as in Zillow. So if you have that situation, you can just go in there, plug in your details, and find that property right then and there. I mean, it's
Mm,
never been easier to do that.
see?
That's actually pretty cool. Where before you have to actually ask around, you don't have to do that anymore. So, anyways, Damon, you're a little blurry there, man. We want to see your foxy face. What's going on?
I don't know. Did I get blurry?
Yeah, you got blurry all of a sudden. It's cool. We can
Uh,
keep going. Like,
I don't know. It could be my internet. I don't know. It's
that's
late.
fine, man. That's fine. We'll keep going.
Okay.
It's all right. Oh, there you go. Whatever you did, just keep it. There you go.
All right.
That's better.
Magic.
All right. Did you start doing creative deals from like this from scratch, or you said you had like a like a class that you did before, or how did that work?
Yeah, yeah. I started with a class, like I did a class years ago. Um, and then I had like, but man, I did the seminar thing. I spent the money, I put my money up. I told you I made my 10,000, right?
Right. Right.
I made my 10 grand from my first deal. But then after that, I didn't make any money. I didn't make any money after that to the point where I had to go back and get back into my mortgage job because I quit my job at one mortgage company to do wholesaling for full time, and I made zero money after that 10,000, zero. Like got behind on my bills. I had a two-family house at the time I just bought. My tenants wasn't paying my rent, so I was behind. Excuse me,
Oh
I'm on a
shoot.
call right now. Yeah. That's my surfer bringing a surfboard in
All
the
right.
camera.
Hey.
Yeah, but but yeah, man, I was just struggling and I had to go make some money. I didn't understand it, and that's where looking back on it, it's about marketing. Like if you guys don't understand how to market, you're not going to be in business. You're just not. So you got to know how to market. Have to, have to,
Gotcha.
have to, have to. So I would go and start with buyers first. That would be my thing. And then once you have your buyers that are solid, you go out and then you find the people that using off market ninja as a opportunity, or if you're lower tech, which probably you want to use leverage, is use a tool like that that'll get you in front of the right people. And then the one thing I can't stress enough for you people that really want to move fast and you want to have success, there is no other way to do it than having a mentor. Somebody
Right.
that's been there, done it, that will show you how to do the business. Because I agree, most people can fumble their way through it like I did, you know. Took me a month, but I had some real estate experience. I had done a couple of things. I had a friend, like I fumbled through it. But look, after I did my one deal, I didn't do any more deals after that. It wasn't until I got a mentor years later that I really started to understand, well, shit, like, okay, this is what I did wrong. Here's what I did. And when I had a problem, that's when my mentor stepped in and helped me fix it. And that helped me make a lot more money, a lot
Gotcha.
more money. I started doing deals when I found my like first real serious mentor. Um, I think that first year I probably did two deals. One was like $6,500. The other one was like another like 3,500. And then I moved to Tampa and I ended up doing a deal over like 50,000 just on one deal, and that was my actually it was like 100,000 in total, and I had to split it with somebody else that brought me some money on it, but 100 grand, you know,
Okay.
just from knowing what to do and how to say it.
And then you get a deal from a regular networking group one time.
Yeah, that
You
was
got a
the
commercial
deal.
deal.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got
that
a
was
good
it?
memory.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
that was the deal. You got a great memory. It was like just a referral from some and that person still refers me business till this day. The referral person was an attorney, and man, just walking around talking to people. And those are usually my best referrals. Like I get referrals from friends, family, and those people usually aren't looking around and all over Facebook. Like they're just like, hey, I just want to sell my house. Let's get it done.
Gotcha.
And yeah,
You, I'm glad you mentioned mentors because I run this group off my I'm sorry, I got it all confused. I run this Facebook group, real estate wholesalers wholesaling real estate, and that's
all
one
right,
of the top questions. How to find a mentor, and I feel like there's people in your life that or your real estate career that can be your mentors even if you don't have contact with them. Like I would consider somebody like, let me just mention somebody. Uh, TJ Hines, right? I never met TJ Hines, even though I was in Tampa, but he had all these videos on YouTube,
right.
and
I know
I
TJ.
I don't know if you ever met him. He's in Tampa. I never actually met the guy. Uh,
No,
no,
no.
but he has all these videos, and I consider him a mentor, even though I never met him. I mean, I met you were my mentor basically there for a bit, and I'm still consider you my mentor. I had other mentors, and
Sure.
people that actually it doesn't have to be that relationship. Hey, you want to be my mentor? Yeah, sure. No, it doesn't have to be that relationship. Just as long as you follow,
Yeah.
they have advice. It doesn't actually have to be like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree to an extent. Like the type of mentorship I'm talking about is like when you get like look, we're in the information age. And with
Right,
information, I think the information age is kind of push people enough to the point where they know so much, but then you still know so little, right? Like
right,
implementation is key. And if you don't know how to implement something, that's where I think a lot of people get lost. So like now, wholesaling is not a secret. Everybody knows everything about wholesaling.
right,
But why is it that only a few people are still really getting them checks that you see posted? It's because not everybody knows the ins and outs. Like there's people that are showing you how to do it that have done it, and everybody else is really just a wannabe. And that's just how it's always been. It's not. It's 20
so
years or
everything.
15. Yeah, 15, 20 years later, it's the same thing. And you're right. It's the same thing about in anything else. Like my son, he surfs. He wants to be a pro surfer. I don't surf, so I mean, I didn't grow up surfing. So
Really?
what am I going to do? Teach him how to surf? And he can only watch so many YouTube videos on surfing before he's just like, all right, dad, well, how am I going to do this? Well, what I did very early on is I was like, here's your coach. And the coach was a guy surfed for 35 years in the same area and, was on the pro tour.
Right,
So you get him connected with that person and he tells him everything that he knows and downloads it into his head to help him.
right, right. That's good. Let me circle back to the creative strategy. So the way you actually wholesale and you do deals, it's no, it's less of cash offers, which is your regular basic wholesaling strategy. It's more of owner finance and lease options. You're big on lease options, right? What do you
We
actually do?
Yeah, no, great question. No, we still do quite a bit of cash. Like most of what I do is mostly cash. But what's different is we give people, two options.
Okay,
You're either going to get cash or lease option and let somebody decide and kind of talk them through. Because, in today's climate, like to just get somebody on the phone and get their attention to talk through it, like it takes a little bit of work to get them there. But some people are just texters
right,
and email. They don't want to talk to you. So that kind of that gives us some credibility when we send them an offer via text or email. They see the written offer. They're like, okay, these guys ain't full of you know what. All right, let me talk to them. and they got two options. They can take the cash offer, depending on the property condition, and they can take the lease purchase or the terms offer. Okay. And we
Okay.
actually have a third offer. It's in the works right now. It's not quite there yet, but it's going to be a game changer, I think,
All right.
in
Keep
the space. I
keep
think
track
so.
of keep my boy. Hold on. Let me put your information up here real quick, just so just because you teased us with that. Let me put your information up there real quick.
Oh,
Keep
sure.
track of Damon. He got a lot of cool stuff going on. I mean, I'm gonna show you information a little bit later, but that sounds like I'm gonna definitely look into that. That's cool. So I thought I was under the impression because the reason I asked that question because I used to live where you do deals in, and I used
Right.
to see your signs everywhere. I mean, and this was like 3 4 years ago. Um,
Uh,
and actually, the first time I met you, that I didn't actually meet you, I met you on the phone. It was from a sign, and I called you off
okay.
a sign, and I think the sign said "We buy pretty houses," and I
Right.
was
Right.
like, "How is this guy buying pretty houses?" Like, and
Yeah.
back then I think you were offering full price. I don't know if you're doing that anymore, but
Sure.
how
Sure.
is how is he even doing that? Let me take this off. How is he
Yeah.
even doing that? So
Yeah. I mean,
crazy.
that strategy is, first of all, I don't do signs anymore. Like nobody,
Okay.
like only on the properties. Yeah, I mean it's the internet. That was like three
Yeah, it's
four
dead
years
now.
ago. Now
Yeah.
everybody's online. But back then I just wanted to just have a differentiator, like doing something a little different.
Right.
And I was doing enough. I was doing deals where I felt like, okay, we could get in and do a deal and make some money, like 5 grand, where nobody wanted to do that.
Right.
And people still do lease purchase and owner finance, but people just don't want to do it. They don't want to do the work, in my opinion, because they
Yeah.
think it's complicated or it's hard. But you know what's hard? Not making money.
Right.
Right? Like,
Right.
just sit your ass down and figure it out. Like, you'll be all right if you actually take the steps and do it. Like, get a
Right.
mentor, commit. Don't like go. What's that thing? Like, what do they call it? Like, grass is greener or shiny object.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Shiny
everything that
object.
pops up.
Yep.
Ah, bitch, I'm in Bitcoin now. Like, no, man. Like, you yesterday you told me you're driving for dollars. Now you're doing forex. Like,
Oh,
nah, man. Just
just
stick to
stick
what
to
it
it.
is you
Stick.
said you're gonna do.
And it's funny that we're all we may go over a little bit because I'm really excited about talking to you. By the way, I hope
Sure,
you're okay with
sure.
it.
You're good.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because I was that guy. Before
Me
I
too. Me
before I
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think everybody has done it.
for
Before
sure.
I- before I got into wholesaling real estate, I mean, heck, shoot, let me make a confession here. I even sold exotic toys on Amazon for a bit right there, right? So that's how
Exotic or erotic? Like,
erotic. There you go. There
oh,
you go.
okay.
Erotic toys on
No
Amazon
judgment.
for a little bit, right?
Right.
I did that just in my journey. I was in the music business. It took me reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I eventually went to the RIA meeting that me and you met in,
Right.
and eventually ended in real estate. But yeah, it took forever. So yeah, it's all that laser focus
For sure.
type
For
of
sure.
you know
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah. And and you said it, like we all kind of start out there, but that's where a mentor makes a difference,
right.
in my opinion. Because when I met my mentor, I respected the guy enough. I was like, how the hell is this guy? He was in like Winter Park, Colorado. He still is. Awesome guy. And he's just like, what? I was like, this guy, I was like, how the fudge is he making money? Like he would just show me, he'd show me like his little checks, and he never met anybody. Like, this is like
Right.
4 or 5 years ago. He never met a person. Maybe even this gotta be 7 years ago now, because we weren't even here in Florida. So 7 years ago, imagine 7 years ago, this guy was up on Zoom. He had YouTube videos, and like, no, he had Skype because Zoom wasn't out. And YouTube videos, and he was taping it, and he was doing everything over the phone. He was doing DocuSign, like he was doing everything. Like,
Pre-COVID.
yeah, like exactly. He was straight 100% virtual. And I was just like, how is this guy doing this? And when I saw that, I said, man, I gotta step my game up. And he taught me, like, yo, the most important thing you have in your life is your time.
Yeah.
And when you start valuing your time, and using that time to to really, and maximize that time. Like when you start doing it as a real function and not throwing it away, that's when things change for you. And that's what they changed for me too.
Yeah, it's just that mentor, a focus, that focusing on one thing. I Before I actually started doing the mini courses, I the wholesaling mini courses came out of people asking me all these questions, and I was like, maybe I should just put this in a course and just like teach it. But anyway, so I would get these different people, and a lot of them were like, okay, so today I'm fixing credit, today I'm doing wholesaling, today I'm doing forex, today I'm doing this. I'm like, dude, focus, do one thing at a time. But anyways, let me, before I get too ahead here, I got some questions for you, man, from the audience.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, Oliver Saint Victor. I think Oliver, you actually just signed up for a mini course, so I'll see you. I think it's tomorrow. I don't know. Anyways, Oliver Saint Victor. He's asking what website worth buying into for wholesale.
What
Uh,
website?
yeah, he's probably uh talking more about the last, like PropStream or something like that. You use PropStream, right?
Oh yeah, I love PropStream. Are you set up with PropStream there? You use Prop?
Uh, I don't. I don't know.
Okay.
I think I used it when I was with working with you for a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
For anybody new, so if that's the question, Oliver, brother, I would definitely get PropStream. We use it in our business. I wholesale anywhere between right now in the three markets that were our major markets. We wholesale anywhere between like 5 and 7 properties a month, just using prop and all the tools there. And I would highly recommend that, because what it does is it gives you like access to a lot of different areas, and it's way better than Zillow in terms of off market, and it gives you some MLS stuff as well,
yeah.
like MLS data. So when you need to go run comps, that's where you're going to get it. Like you'll get your ability to run comps from that. When people run comps on Zillow, I personally have never like really done it, but to me, I know Zillow data is not very good, so
I
I don't trust it.
teach that. I teach how to run comps on Zillow, because when you don't have anything else, Zillow's all you got.
Correct.
So if that's what you got, Zillow is a great thing. But once you do have some money or something coming through, then
Correct.
definitely spending money in the tools.
Correct.
So,
Or
and
you
also
could
you
just
have, I'm sorry, go
or you could just offer them 65,
ahead.
right?
65. That's
65.
awesome.
Yeah.
Just go with 65. And also you got Off Market Ninja now, man. That's another website you can use.
Yeah.
So PropStream is gonna be your A to C, right? So seller through to wholesaler type deal, type transaction,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna be more B to C, so wholesaler to buyer type transaction. So you got PropStream. It is gonna. Do you know how much it is,
I
PropStream?
want to say I want to say it's like almost like 100. Usually it's like a little over $100, I think.
Yeah,
But yeah, but I think what I can do, I might have a link for them. I'll drop it in the comment, and
perfect.
I think they'll give you like a certain number of downloads per month. I think instead of like 5,000, you get like 10,000, which is a big deal.
Okay.
So yeah, I think you get 10,000 downloads with our link that way. But but then obviously you got to know how to use it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Just don't be. That's like buying a what do you call it? A table saw, and you never cut shit in your life. Like I don't need it, but it's the best tool that we use it every single day in our business, nonstop. So I would recommend it to anybody that really Oliver.
Yeah,
Yeah, you want to
cool.
be on prop stream,
I'll have a good
depending on where you are.
PropStream. I think I've seen people actually. Hey, you're blurry again, by the way. I think I've seen
Sorry.
people. Um, if you're part of the group, real estate wholesalers, wholesaling real estate. I think you are. If you're part of the group, I've seen people kind of uh, get together, because it is, if you're brand new starting, it is kind of expensive. So get together and actually, I don't even know if it's legal, but get together and share
Like
the
share it.
login.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I
so.
I don't know if it's legal, but anyway. And Off Market Ninja, we're gonna be about the same price when we are up and running. Right now, we're going to beta, so it's only $30 a month. So now it's time to get in there.
Get
thirty
in.
dollars a month for just the month of April, man. So, um, yeah, $30 a month. We're gonna go up, but just for now, just because we're in beta status. Did you freeze? Oh no, you're just blurry. Okay, cool.
I'm just blurry
We,
apparently. My
we just
bad.
like Blueberry. It's all right, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
All right. So I got another question though. This
sure.
coming from Sean Anthony Jason Walker. Okay, so yeah, so John Anthony Jason Walker. Okay. All right. So
That's a lot of names.
it's a
That's
lot of
awesome.
names. Sean
Yeah.
Anthony Jason Walker. Okay, that's
Yep.
awesome, man.
Good,
All
good
right,
guy.
just starting out, needs to develop a system process to follow when doing my first deal
Okay.
that I can duplicate. So
Right on.
that's what we've been talking about, the system, basically. What do you think?
Yeah. So, what I would to keep it simple, like there's a lot of different programs and systems you can plug into, right? Everybody has their own, but really, I'm gonna oversimplify it for you because if you're from the outside looking in, you think there's a lot to happen, but there really isn't. The things you have to do is find the property and get it under contract, then sell that property, and then that's it. You go to closing and get cash. That's it. Those four things is all you have to do. But what I would do, um, uh, what's his first name again?
Sean.
Sean.
Sean Anthony, I
Sean.
want to say. Sean. Let's
Yeah,
go with Sean.
yeah. Sean, what I would do is back up and just start first with the buyer, right? If you know who your buyers are, I think maybe one famous guy that I know that teaches that kind of the approach is Ken Clothier. And everybody has their own system, but your systems are going to go along with, a price tag. So everybody's system is pretty much the same. The question is, who can you commit to and what do you want to do?
Right.
But he's the only other person I've ever heard that says like, yeah, go get the buyer first because you're the buyer when you have the situation that you're in when you have a wholesale contract is typically you only get like 30 days. Most buyers or sellers rather aren't going to be like, yeah, time my property up for 45, 60 days and come back when you got a buyer. Like no, they don't do that. Okay. If they're serious, they want to close within 30 days for the most part. That's the max. So if you
Right.
got 30 days to sell a property, you're on the ticker as soon as you get it under contract. So you want to get that buyer up front. So that way, when you got that property, you have it pretty much pre-sold. Make sense? And then the rest of it is just getting that person under contract because you already know what he's going to pay or she's going to pay. You get them under contract, and then you just turn around and you say, okay, now I just get it to my title company, make sure everything gets all done, and I pick up my check. That's it.
Sean is has another question.
All right.
Um, is it better to start making the calls yourself or using VAs to cold call?
Oh, great question, Sean. Okay, great question. And I'm going to say always, 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 always better to start out making the calls yourself.
Yourself. Yep.
I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what no guru says, because you're not going to know how to answer that person's questions. You never did it before. You're going to have your VA bring you a deal, and then they're going to be like, yeah, this person said that. And you're going to be like, let me see what happens in my manual. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you got to go through those and experience it for yourself. Then when you get comfortable, you get a few checks under your belt, then you automate and go out. It's just like driving. You couldn't teach someone how to drive. You never drove before,
Right.
right? So it's the same analogy in my book.
Anything that you plan to automate, you got to do it yourself first.
You
I
gotta do
mean,
it.
that's anything.
You gotta do it yourself first, man. At least once or twice just to
Yeah.
understand it, and then you're like, hey, you know what? I gotta. I feel like I like this more. I'm better at this. And don't get me wrong, like if there's automation for things like the marketing, you do not have to make the postcards,
Right.
right? Like if there's a service that does the postcards, yeah, I think you can outsource that, right? Or sending text blasts or something like that. Yeah, that's fine. But when it comes to talking to the actual person, and if you're an introvert, look, John's an introvert and he's closed a bunch of
Done it.
deals. Like you're gonna get over it because you just have to have an approach on how to talk to the client.
Yeah.
That's
It
it.
definitely gets more comfortable. Like heck, this interview, I was nervous as hell, but it gets more comfortable. You loosen up once you know what you're doing. Once you got a little, a bit under your belt.
Right on.
Sean, after the interview, I'm gonna send you a YouTube video you gotta watch. Uh, but anyway, so yeah, it just get more. You just gotta do it, and it gets more comfortable. You get a little more loose, and you know, you, it's just practice. That's really all it is.
That's it.
Um,
Get enough reps in.
yeah. All right. So I think that's it from Sean. I had something else. All right. I have some
Yeah,
questions for you though. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
sure. I just sent through that for anybody that's interested. I think we get a trial with PropStream. So we
Okay.
have a Foxy link. It's Team Foxy. So you can post that link for anybody that wants it.
All
They'll get
right.
a like a 7 or 10 day trial, I think. And then if you want to sign up, they'll walk you through that. But it's a great tool. I use it
Okay.
every single day.
Cool. I'll just shout out to Yvette. She's my assistant. She's gonna post it.
You
So
bet.
yeah.
You bet. Yeah.
She probably laughing right now. Anyway, so I have some questions for you, man. Some more questions for you.
Sure.
Let's see. So,
Shoot.
what's the most creative deal that you ever done? Like, just curious about that.
Creative. Most creative or one I'm the most proud of? I'd say I just did a what's it called? I just did a 6 unit. So I bought a 6 unit with like 25,000 down or something like that. It wasn't much. It was under 30 grand. And I bought it for like 475,000. And it generates us close to 6 grand in gross revenue
Wow.
a month just from that. So you got 30,000 and you're bringing back gross 6,000 a month, which is
Mailbox
pretty
money.
cool,
Great.
right? And here I go blurry again.
Yeah, man.
So
What's
that
going on with you?
that one I'm pretty proud of only because it didn't just start with me coming in and saying, "Yo, bro, let me give you 30,000. I'm gonna owner finance your property," right? It started with the guy had. So here's one. Look, this is a good question. So I was selling a little house in Cocoa. I did not have a buyer, so I went out and started looking for buyers because I had a property under contract.
Right.
Remember, I said if you want to have a buyer, it's good, but sometimes you don't have a buyer. It's just the way it
Hmm.
is. I had the property, not the buyer. So I went out and I was cold calling for buyers in the area, people that were cash buyers. I found this guy and I said, I see that you bought a property over here in the area. I have another one for sale. Would you be interested? He's like, nah, actually, I'm not. But I do have a property right over here on the other side of town, in the same town. Would you be interested in that? I said, absolutely. Went over there the next day. I saw it by the morning. I had a contract in his hand, DocuSign to sign it that day afternoon, and I won that thing back the same day. And sure enough, I got it. So fast forward, I go all the way to closing. The property was in horrible shape. Nobody wanted to buy. Nobody. Every wholesaler was like, bro, it's too much. So I get down to the end and I tell the guy, I said, I don't think I can make this thing happen. I went back to him. I said, I don't think I can make this thing happen. I really like the house, but unless I can get something worked out here, I don't think I can buy it. He said, what if we finance it for you? This is what he
Okay.
says. And I said, well, okay.
So he gave you that option.
He gave me that option, but
Okay.
it all started from me saying, look, I can't do it.
Right.
Is there anything else you can do? And he said, well, what if I financed it? And then I said, well, instead of me saying, okay, great, I said, yeah, great. I said, what kind of terms would you be offering? And then he said like something ridiculous, like 5% with like $5,000 down. Like that's unheard of, like maybe it was like a year ago or so. And my payment was like principal. I think it was only like interest only. So my payment was only like $300, okay, a month. So what did I do? I went and found somebody that wanted that house. I lease purchased that house to a tenant buyer who was paying me 550. I took $10,000 down from her, kept that money, and then at the end of the lease term, she was supposed to buy the house. Well, she didn't. She didn't buy it. because she decided that she didn't want anymore. At that time, I kept that money. I put it on the market. Took me about a month or two. I was making the payments in the meantime, and I sold it. Okay. Came back the next day and I said, Bill, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. It was really great. If there's ever anything you wanted to do, I would take a look at any other property you have for sale. Made the offer. He said, I'm interested in selling my building. Okay, really? Okay, cool. Here's my offer. Cash. Nah, I don't want to do that. Okay. Called him back maybe 3 months later. Cash? Nah, I don't want to do that. Well, I said, well, what about owner financing? Which I had offered him in the first opportunity. I offered him both options. He said no to both. Came back 3 months later, follow up.
Right.
Now he's like, okay, let's see. We worked out the terms over back and forth on email for probably about 2 weeks, right? More touches, more touches,
Hmm.
more touches. And we ended up at something ridiculous, like 3.5% on the first for a first mortgage, 3.5% amortized, meaning the payments are stretched over 30 years. And I have a balloon in, I want to say, I think a balloon in 7 years. I'll be out of the
Okay.
property before 7 years.
Wow.
Okay. I'll be gone. I might be going in year one. Okay. But for the way I negotiated it, plus, this is where I get freaky. I have my mortgage is also assumable. Okay. So just to keep things simple, because I know this might be new people, the way I structured it is like, okay, if I want to get out of the deal and I want to transfer my mortgage to somebody else, like another buyer, they don't have to go qualify at a bank to get that mortgage. He's just going to take that mortgage that he gave me and I can assign that to somebody else so they could take it over
Right.
without qualifying from a bank. So now instead of people having to go get qualified for really good financing at 3.5%, which is about market price right now, they could go and go to this guy. I could just transfer it to them and they could just take over my mortgage without having to get bank qualified. All they got to do is bring the money. Boom, get it appraised, bring the money. Boom, done.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So that's the one thing. And then the other, I said too much. That's it. We're gonna leave it right there. That's enough. That's
It
what
may be a little advanced, for
Yeah, that'll
new.
leave it right there.
Yeah.
My point in saying all this is like you asked me which one I was the most proud of. It's that, and the reason behind it is not that it got creative and it got structured. It started with one deal,
And it turned
but
into
two.
two. Gotcha.
So with the buyer, right? I went after the buyer. Then it turned into a property. I made 10,000 plus another, I think 12 when I sold it again. So that's 22 plus this property here. It's over the course of maybe 2 years. But now when I sell this property, I may make another 100,000, let's say, when I sell it. Okay. Might make
Gotcha.
another 100 grand.
Gotcha.
Not bad, right? And that's just out of thinking and saying, why would you even want to sell this, Bill? Oh, because I'm just getting older and I just don't really want to own this property. I have a boat here. I have planes here. I got property over here in the Bahamas. He's like, I just I want to slow down. So I said, okay, let me take a look at it. Let me be the one that'll do it. And you know what he said to me, which I'm very proud of. He said, I like doing business with you because you do what you say you're going to do.
Yep.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is real estate. Because the properties, they do whatever they're going to do. The people are looking for people to
Yep.
carry them forward. It's not always perfect. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're going to do everything perfect. Don't knock yourself if you don't. You're human. That's how you learn. You learn not to do certain things. But if you get to that point when people recognize that if you say you're going to do something, you deliver on it. I'm getting referrals from people I did deals 4 years ago from.
Wow.
Why?
Because
You
the
know,
personality that the rapport that you built with that
the
person.
rapport. And
It's
and yeah, and you deliver. People remember you. They're not going to jump up and joy for the things you do right because they expected that. Where they're going to go crazy is when you f them over and you do something that you
right.
you said you were going to do and you don't do it.
Right.
That pisses people off, right? And that's understandable. You don't like that. Nobody else likes that. And like I said, I'm not going to sit up here on a high horse and say I never did that in my whole career. You're crazy. I had stuff that's not going not going the way I wanted it to, and just ended up that way. And there's not much I could do about it at the time. I get it. But what I'm saying is, if you strive to be the best at what it is and you deliver all the time, you're gonna do it. You're gonna make it work. But really, it's just all it is people. Talk to the
Yeah.
people. You talk to them, you'll get it done. And that's the deal.
And if you need to go from, a property that's 150, you need to get it to 55. That's all you do. Just write that report. I mean, it's not gonna work every time because
Yeah.
let's say 90% of the time it's not gonna work. But
Yeah.
that's how you do it. You just build that relationship.
You know
Uh,
how to get you know how to get ultimate rapport with people?
what's that?
This there's a secret to it. There's an
Let
ultimate
us know,
rapport
man.
builder. You ready?
Yeah.
Mentor taught me this years ago. Just ask questions.
Okay. A- As if you're interested because you are. Okay, gotcha.
Well, just ask questions, right? Like just like how everybody, like you're asking questions to me. I'm like, man, I really like this guy, John. I liked you before the call, right? But it's because you're asking me
Hopefully.
questions, right?
Right, right, right,
Yeah, that'd be weird, right? But like you're asking me questions, and i- I'm getting to talk about stuff that I know, I care about, I'm passionate about.
right,
I feel good, and that's the same thing about the property. So when you talk to a seller, first thing I say is like, you know what, Mr. Seller, could you tell me a little bit about the property? Could you tell me about the roof, the AC? Usually, once I get them talking about the property, there all the skepticism is going to melt, because if I come in hot, like, all right, I see that your property was built in 1959. Um, okay, it probably needs a new roof, probably needs AC. I'm doing all the talking, right?
right,
And I think my after repair value is probably around 250. I think you should give me 150,000. I'll do it right now. They're like, most of the time they're like, dude,
right,
first of all, I don't even know you. Second of all, you just called my house a piece of shit, right? And third, like, how do I even know like anything about you? People, they don't know you, they don't care. So after that comes, then that 150,000, they're out. And for some people, they've probably been on this call and no one ever told them that. I'm telling you that with John right now, it's rapport. You got to get to the people. Once you get to the people and understand and get them to understand you and they like you, they don't have to love you. They just have to be like, they not look at you like a perfect stranger.
right.
Okay. And once you get past that, you got a shot. Got a good shot.
Just I say be yourself. There's this trick that because I'm such an introvert, I used to, instead of doing cold calls, I used to text, and
Right
uh,
on.
and instead of and also I used to email. So
Right
my
on. Yeah.
my uh my trick was to misspell text and misspell emails because I'm coming through as a person, not coming in through as a corporate or corporation. You know,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
just a little trick there for you guys.
Yeah.
So I misspelled that first email or the first text as if my first text, it could be coming from text mass text, and my first text is "Hey Bob," and I may misspell, I don't know, "Hey" like HY or whatever, and just all lowercase because I seem like as a person. If you're coming in, if you're coming in
Too
hot, like you
formal.
said, yeah, too formal with that. Just coming in hot and pitch. Just I hate when people send me Facebook messages with their pitch. Like, dude, just get me to know a little bit. Just buy me dinner
Exactly.
first, dude. Come on.
Buy me dinner. That's so
but
true.
just like come to them as a person first, even though you have your logo, you have your company behind you, you have all that, but just come to them as a person. I see that you do that, and like you said, you just build that rapport. That's why you're getting those people coming 4 years later and getting you deals because they feel like they're your friend basically. So it's pretty cool.
Well, yeah. Yeah, man. And I think my wife always says this, like, I'm one of those people. Like, I really like people, not all of them, not all of them, right? But I like most people, and I always been like that. I enjoy getting to know people, because when you get to know them, you figure out like, yo, these people are actually pretty interesting. Like, like the guy I was talking about before, he's been in like several different countries, spoke different languages. Took me out to lunch. I bought this guy's house on a Thursday. He probably made like 16 on that house. He was a butcher once upon a time. His whole family's in real estate, and he moved here like 30 years ago to Florida and bought up all these properties. And now he's downloading because he believes that the economy is going to crash, which I tend to agree. But
Yeah, okay, he's not wrong on that one.
yeah, but it's like you get to find out a lot of people and they get to know more about you, and you don't know how many times, man, it's like people will come back to me and be like, "Yeah, how's that surfer son of yours doing?" I get that all the time, and I'm just like, it's really cool, because people,
Yeah,
they care about you just like you care about them. I'll say, "Yeah, how's your mom doing? I remember when she was just getting surgery. Oh my God, you remember that?
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
do.
yeah,
Just because I
yeah.
care about these people. It's
Right.
not just a transaction. And if you can master the people side of the business, marketing, like I said, marketing, and then you get the people side of it, you're good. The
Uh,
houses, the numbers, that's easy.
yeah,
Anybody
that's the
can do
easy
that.
part is the reporting. Coming as a person, I mean, you know, you don't have to be 100% professional all the time. Well,
No,
in a certain extent you do,
right,
but 100% corporate and professional. People don't like that. People don't really trust corporations like that. So
right, right.
if you can come through as a human being, that's the best you can do.
Yeah.
So that's good. And we're going on around here, man. Sean has another question.
Come on, Sean. Bring the questions.
And he said his name is long. He said to blame his mama. I
Yeah,
just saw that. I put two and two together. So sorry, Sean.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Sean. My name may come up as Jonathan Ortega, but my actual name, should I say it? No. I'm gonna say Jonathan. Middle name, which I'm not gonna say. Middle name Ortega Mato. So I do have four names myself.
Jeez,
So don't
yeah,
feel bad,
yeah.
man.
But you Latin. You're supposed to have
I'm
48
supposed to.
names.
And my
Yeah,
wife actually, she took on my two middle names since she already had two. No, I'm sorry. She took on my two last names, and she already had two middle names. So I'm not gonna say her name because I can't.
yeah.
But
But they
uh,
long. They long.
but
There's
it's
a lot
long.
of them.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so don't feel bad, man. So Sean Anthony Jason Walker, man, that's awesome. Sean Anthony Jason Walker, he said, "Is it better to start with large properties or small ones? Does it
Ah,
matter?"
oh, um, that's a good one too, man. Yo, you're on
Yeah.
fire. Um, dude, I would say go, go big, go bigger.
Sheesh.
Only go bigger. Here's why I say that. You can do either or, but what will happen is you're gonna do the same amount of work on a
Right.
little house
Right.
as you will on a big house. It's just people get freaked out about the numbers, like, oh my God, it's so
Yeah.
big. Like we're in a no risk business. So if you're doing everything the same way, maybe you might have to come up with a little bit more earnest money or something like that. But you protect your earnest money so you're good, right? We could talk
Right.
about that, or that's going to be in John's course, right?
Yeah.
But if you make sure you protect your earnest money, it doesn't really matter. So my answer is either or, but you because you're gonna do the same amount of work for either one.
Yeah.
I like to do I make money on little $30,000 trailers or 15. I bought a trailer for 4,000. I made um 15, 15,000 on
Wow.
a $5,000 trailer. And it's owner finance. So I got the money up front, plus I'm financing it. Shoot.
Wow. I think
Plus,
I think
plus,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
go ahead. That was it. I was
I
just
was gonna
yelling.
say, I think that's why Adrian. I had an interview with him. I think that's what Adrian is doing. He's owning financing these trailers like left and right. He's in the
Yeah,
area too.
yeah,
Um, he's trailers usually scare me. I told him that, but if you get creative enough, you can really wholesale anything. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I got a hospital on the contract one time. When my buddy David Miner, shout out to you, man. And David even got a factory, a cigar factory down there in Florida or
yeah.
Tampa. He got it on the contract one time. Same numbers, just bigger deals. I
Right
think
on.
it was like a million. It didn't work out either time, but it was fun. It's fun to say that I had a freaking hospital on the
Yeah,
contract, and he had a cigar factory on the contract. But anyway,
yeah.
it would
I
have been
think the
good if it
hospital
worked out.
sounds good. He's like, yo, I had all these doctors scared they was gonna lose their place. Just with these doctors,
Well, the hospital was abandoned. Okay, I wasn't gonna deal with that whole HIPAA thing or whatever it is that you deal with in the medical field, but it was pretty cool. Hospital is like worth $1 million. It was pretty cool.
let the attorneys figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
Right.
sounds that sounds like a lot of work. All right,
Uh,
cool. Who else? Who else got a question? Thanks,
I, I
Sean. That was a
I
good
got,
one.
I got a few questions, man. I got a few questions. I don't know, Sean or whoever it was before.
Sean
Oliver. If you
Sean
had any
got
other
all his
questions,
questions out.
yeah,
Sean
I
got
think.
he got them on deck.
No, Sean. For if you have more questions, let us know. Oliver, if you have more questions, let us know. I am kidnapping Damon. I'm having too much fun. I'm kidnapping Damon for a little bit.
Keep going.
Um,
Keep
we
going. This
are
is fun.
we are 15 minutes past our time, but it's all
Go.
right. All right. Anyway, so let me see if this is a good question for you. One second. I had some prepared questions. Uh, oh yeah. So has your buying strategies changed since we are in like in the same market? I know back then you were buying pretty houses with signs out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has it
So,
changed?
okay. Yeah. So I would say because the market has gotten so hot, I kind of once the market started heating up, and it's not like it just started. It's always been pretty hot for flips here in Tampa, probably the last 2, 3 years. Like it's always been appreciating. It's just gotten like fast now recently with COVID because interest rates are lower and a lot of people are like you got people moving from California up north, like there's a lot of demand. So I've always been we've always been doing cash, and probably our second go-to has been owner financing and lease purchase. Um, but I think once the market changes, I don't think we're gonna have this. I, there's no way we're gonna keep this rise forever. And when
Right.
that does, you're gonna see a huge um, surge, just like we did in 2008, back towards owner financing and lease purchase, because people are going to want to get rid of the management part of the property, the management headaches, and they're going to want to get into um, kind of like covering the debt. So that's where that's going to come in. So we're not doing a whole bunch of lease purchase compared to our cash. I'd say cash is probably about 85, 90% of what we do. But I think as things change, as the market begins to change and go towards more, a declining market, just like every time, it's going to go right
Yeah.
back to
So you
more
just
lease
put
purchase
on
again.
different hats as the market changes. You just uh, what's the word? You
Yeah,
just change with the market basically.
for sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
and one
Yep.
last question, and I wanted to hear from an expert because I get this question all the time. You deal with pre foreclosures, right? You get into
Yeah.
the whole
Sometimes.
short sale. Do you
Yep.
recommend pre foreclosures for newbies? I don't, but do you?
No, I wouldn't either. And a lot of people say, I don't. I wouldn't say stay. I wouldn't say stay away from them, but I wouldn't make that your only focus. Only because there's other deals that'll happen in any niche: probate,
Yeah.
vacant, driving for dollars, Zillow, MLS. You can find a deal anywhere. Don't think there's only one place to find a
Right.
deal. Those are just lists. You know what I mean? Those are just like brands of cereal, pretty much. If you're in a cereal aisle, there's Kellogg's, there's Kicks. They all cereal, so you can eat whichever one you want. It doesn't matter. It's just people think that pre-foreclosure is better than the other. I don't think so. One thing you will experience with pre-foreclosure is a lot of times those people aren't very they're gonna require a lot more follow-up,
Right.
I found, only because if you losing your house, which I've been in that situation in my life, if you're losing your house, you're not super motivated to be like, yeah, I'm out. You're just not doing that. Okay. Like when they was ready to kick me out my two-family house, I was just like, hey, see ya. Nah, I was there till pretty much like till I knew like the sheriff was almost coming. So until that happens, most of these people ain't really looking to move, which I understand. So, and by the time that happens, then they may be so far behind on the mortgage balance that it's swelled over to more than what they actually own. And now you got to go to a short sale. And
Yeah.
short sales
I'm
right
not short.
now they're not short. They're a disaster.
Yeah.
They should, yeah, right. Long sales. They're
Long
the
sales,
absolute
right?
opposite. Yeah.
The thing
Yeah.
is about pre foreclosures is most likely 90% of the time you're gonna end up on a short sale, and then you're gonna have to have somebody work that short sale, and there's a lot of
Yep.
follow up.
Yep.
So yeah, for you newbies, just stay away from that. I mean, I'm telling you, I teach this all the time to, for me, is get a deal under your belt. Once you do that, you can figure out where you're going. You can figure out where your marketing is going. Just get a deal under your belt. Go on, I have a training on my YouTube channel. Go on Zillow, find a property, get on the contract, get it done. Now you deal with that. Don't try to learn everything first and then jump in.
Yes,
I hate that.
yes,
You're gonna
yes.
you're gonna you're gonna you're gonna there's an issue. There's always gonna be an issue that's gonna come up, and you're gonna have to learn on the fly. I don't care how much you learn. It doesn't matter. I mean, I've had a house that I had to a friend of mine had a house that he had on the contract, and a lot of you guys know who this friend is. I can't say who it is, and you probably know who it is. We had a house on the contract. He was showing the house. He had, I think, an assignment contract. He hadn't closed yet, but then the buyer, the end buyer, started demoing the house before even closing the house. I always tell the
Oh,
story, and you're gonna have that situation. You're not gonna learn from anybody what to do in that situation. I had a house that was I love code enforcement, by the way. And this house, literally, people were showing up to demo this house already, and I had to like stop. Let me finish this deal. Let me figure it out first. So who's gonna teach you about a situation? There's always gonna be a situation you don't know.
yeah.
Jump in, get your feet wet, do a deal, then you go from there. Then you can figure out what strategy you can go into. I'm pretty sure uh, you didn't start being a creative
No, I
investor,
started
right?
with, yeah, I started with cash, but I will say this for the people that are maybe not as maybe a bit risk adverse, and they're like, ah, that
Yeah,
sounds good, John, but that don't sound like the
I know,
shit I
I know.
want to do. Okay, so I got something for you. If you're a little bit more risk adverse, or you're just someone that wants to get right to pay dirt, like I don't have no time, um, I would say then you got to invest in a mentor. Do whatever you
That's true.
can. Find somebody that you feel is the has all the qualities that has the stuff that you want, and ask them, what do I got to do? Whether it be money, barter, I don't know. Maybe you don't have no money, but maybe you could work out a deal where you do something for
Yep.
them. You got to go take somebody out. But it's in the name of you taping this. Okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
I meant like I was saying take them shooting. I wasn't
Cigarette,
talking about,
cigarette. Yeah.
yeah, taking someone shooting, not taking them out for the video, right? But like you got to work it out, and if you get that person's attention and do that, that's gonna save you a lot of time. Because the other way, which I've traveled and John's traveled, you're gonna hit some bumps
Yeah,
for
you are.
sure.
It
You're
doesn't
gonna hit
matter.
some
It doesn't
bumps.
matter how much you actually prepare yourself.
Yep.
There's people that tell me that they've watched 1,000 videos. I'm like, what are you doing watching all these videos? Just jump in, do something, and then you figure it out. Trust me. And I do disagree with you on one thing. I mean, you say get the buyers
Sure.
first. Yeah, I do. I get the buyers first. Yeah, I get that, but trust me, you're not gonna build a better buyers list if than getting a deal first, and then
Having
those
a
buyers
deal.
start pouring in. That's my way.
Sure.
I'm
Sure.
the jump. I'm more of a risk taker. I'm the jump and then build your wings on the way
Yeah.
down type
I
person.
look, I tell you, I've done it both, and sometimes we still do both because we might not have the buyer.
Right.
You're just asking me what works the best for what we've done, and I think it works great for newbies too, because it kind of takes the pressure off of just finding that magical deal. Because here's why: if I got a buyer, like I got a hedge fund right now that'll buy pretty much anything that's 3-1 or better, 1,100 square feet. Okay. Doesn't really matter the price as long as it's under 225. Any condition, it doesn't really matter. And after 1950s bill, that's what they want. So
Right.
now knowing all that stuff, I go out to everybody in the market and I say to them, yo, I need this. I want to buy a house. Oh, what do you need? Oh, I just need a 3 bedroom, 1 bath, 1,100 square feet, 1950s and after built, under 225, any condition. Then they're like, okay, that's specific. That's something they could go out and find. I can go find that, or I can call John or anybody else I run into on Facebook and find that. Now, when
Right.
I have that, I can go take that to my hedge fund, and they'll price it, and they'll close it for me. You feel me? And
Yeah.
now I know that deal is the other way. The other way around, what I found when I was doing this, I was going to get my properties, and I would work my ass off to find this one property, right? Get it under contract, and then as soon as I put it out on Zillow or whatever, or Facebook Marketplace, crickets. Like
Yeah,
first 3 days,
yeah.
you don't get shit, and all of a
Oh
sudden,
Lord.
look, that's why I'm bald now. Look, all of a sudden, I'm like, shit. Ah, I get all nervous, like, okay, 27 days, right? Like, ah, man, like I got to get something done. And then it's like 26. And then everybody start calling, they start calling the low ball offers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you want 150? Okay. Yeah, I can only do 80 on that. And it's another wholesaler. You're like, bro,
Yeah, I hate that too, man.
you can do 80. What are you trying to do? Make 100 on the deal? Like, do 80, yo, for real. Like, let's lock it up today or do a JV. I got you.
And you have it for like 120 and they want to do
Right.
80.
And I got it for 120. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Not interested. So then
Yeah.
that goes on. Then you start ticking away the price, but everybody's watching it because you got to post
Yep.
it on Facebook Marketplace. So they
Yeah.
see, oh, he's down to 145. He's down to 140. And then before you know it, 15 days in, you're like, ah, shit. Anybody that comes through here a dollar more than 125, that's who I'm going
Oh
with,
man, I've
right?
been there,
Yeah,
done that.
we know that. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and I never like being in that position
Yeah.
because I'm like, I worked hard for this property. I worked really hard to find this property, and now I'm only gonna make $5,000.
Yeah.
And I know somebody else on the back end is gonna kill it. Like the deals we're finding, they're cheap deals, so somebody's gonna make money on the back, but
Right.
they're just tying that time out. So I'm just like, nah, man, I stopped doing that. So I have the buyer up front. If you have the buyer up front, in my opinion, it works for me.
It's better.
You have the
Yeah.
buyer, then you have a little bit of leverage. And now it's not just me. It's not just my property. I can go out and find a property for me. Or if you bring a property, I can be like, yo, I could buy that property from you. I got it. Just show me what you got. I want to buy it. I'm a buyer for a 3 bedroom,
Right.
one bath,
Right.
and people be like, oh, and that's not just for the hedge funds. That could be if I got one guy, he owns probably about over, I want to say dang near probably over 400 or 500 units in Tampa. Okay. But I know the specific bedrooms and bathrooms, condos that he wants. So when that pops up, I go in there with mad swag, like, yeah, all right, what are we doing here? Like, you can't do 50, forget it. I need it for 45 or I can't do it. Like I'm
Right.
the guy that's barking orders because I know my man will buy it for 50 all
Right.
day, every day. I
Right.
know he will. So that's how you go in there with some negotiating, some juice.
Gotcha.
And I think that's way more powerful, especially for somebody new that might not know all the ins and outs. Like there's that level of uncomfortable discomfort in the beginning,
Yeah.
So that helps to minimize that somewhat.
All right, man. Well, real quick. I mean, again, shameless plug. Off Market Ninja,
Shameless.
we have shameless, right? We have buyers, nationwide buyers. So if you are that person that is risk
Buyer.
averse and
Yep.
you get that, you don't even have to worry about buyers. Just get that deal, get it locked in, and just post it, right? And we have the buyers for you. Doesn't matter what it is. I think I saw a buyer in Alaska. I didn't even know they did wholesaling up there, but whatever.
Yep.
They do.
Anchorage is popping.
Really?
Anchorage.
I didn't
No,
even
I,
know that.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So I mean, you know, if you have a deal, uh, if you want to go the other way and build a buyers list, that's your way. But off Market Ninja, we have nationwide buyers. We can get you a deal. Anyway,
Okay.
so let me wrap it up, man. I have really had a lot of fun. I really appreciate. Oh, wait. We maybe have another question.
Come on.
Yvette's
Let's
on
pop.
it. Yvette's on it. Hold on. Hi, thank you, Yvette. I was about to end it. All right. So this is from PJ Cooper. That's a cool name, PJ
PJ.
Cooper. All right. Hard to get buyer without experience on getting a house under contract. Do you get that?
Nah, say it again.
Hard to get a buyer without experience on getting a house under contract.
Okay. I think what you're asking, PJ, if I'm right, is it hard to get a buyer? Uh, is it harder to get a buyer or is it harder to get a property under contract? Is that the
Oh, I
question?
think I think the on maybe a or. So yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's probably what it is.
I would say, and that's yeah. So to answer your question, PJ, it's that, and that's why I suggest going for the buyer also.
Yeah.
I think the buyer is easier.
Buyers are super simple. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you think I
I,
built a nationwide buyers list for the Off
yeah.
Market Ninja?
I think the buyers are
They
easy.
are super simple. A quick old school trick for you, right?
Go ahead.
Um, can I call them bandit signs online? Let's not call them. Let's call them signs, right?
What are you gonna
Um,
call them? What else would you call them?
okay, I don't know signs. Whatever. Anyway, so a trick that I learned from a mentor was not even have a deal, but write out a bandit sign that says 3-2 blah 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 for X amount of dollars and
Hmm.
post it somewhere. And before you even get home, you'll see your phone just blow
Blowing up.
up. I'm talking about blow up with buyers for that deal. It's called a ghost sign, right?
It's a ghost.
So
Yeah.
so once you answer, like, oh, sorry, sir, that or sir, ma'am,
That's
that
so
deal is sold, but I do
good.
have other deals coming up. You know this trick, right? I
Oh,
do
yes.
have other deals coming up. And you can do this online. I mean, that's the old school version. You can do this
Yeah.
online. You can post something on
And
what?
you don't have to leave your house. That's the
Yeah,
other thing.
yeah. I think and shout out to Mr. His name is Tom Black. I think he posted on the group how to get buyers on Facebook, and I think he did something similar to where you post. Actually, you make a post. I'm looking for buyers in X area, and you will see
Sure.
how big that list will get real quick.
Sure.
Anyway, so
Sure.
that's that. Last goal. Wait a minute.
I could take a couple more. This is fun. I like this.
Oh, you like this? Okay. I was
Of
like, ooh,
course.
maybe the wife is complaining in the background, or I'm taking too long.
She
Okay.
probably is. She probably is, but it's okay.
It's all right, man.
Other room. Other room. Go ahead. Let's do,
All
I
right,
was like, I
PJ.
was working. I was working.
It was right, right? It's work, right? It's almost
Yeah.
10, but it's work. It's cool.
Yeah.
10 Eastern Standard Time, guys. All right, PJ said I was just commenting on your comment when you said that you should get buyer first. So I think
Answer this question.
yeah, we
Yeah.
answered this question, right? Did
Yeah.
we answer
Get
your
the
question?
buyers. And here's the reason. Get the buyer first because you have the buyer, you have the money. You have control of the money. When you have the control the money, then you can go out and find the deal yourself through your own searching, driving for dollars, doing marketing, whatever. Go on Facebook, finding it, or you could go out and have other people find the deals for you. Bird dogs, looking
Right,
on Facebook posts and be like, "Yo, I'm gonna do a joint venture, whatever." But you have the money. That's the thing that if it were me starting all over, I would do that. Day
the
one,
buyers.
find as many quality, but not don't find a bunch of wholesalers like that. I'm not saying that. Like you want to find the straight up buyers, like the guy when you
Right,
call him, he's the one that's gonna write the check. You
right.
find a bunch of those, you're good.
I would say networking is very important. I mean, when we out of this COVID, I can't wait to go to RIAs and actually meet people face to face because that's great. I mean, I found 90% of my buyers through the RIA that me and you met,
Right.
and just face to face, just talking to people. You get a lot from people when you actually meet them face to face and actually see what they're about. Because from talking to them, you can tell. Even on the phone, you can tell if there's somebody is actually a wholesaler trying to wholesale property, trying to see him as a buyer, and or
Right.
somebody's a buyer. So yeah,
Sure.
just network. I think there's some virtual networking groups, and if you're not in my group already, I'm not sure where these questions are coming from. This is coming from Yvette. Shout out to Yvette again. But if you are in my group, real estate wholesalers, wholesaling real estate, there's a whole bunch of buyers in there. Just go ahead and network, BJ. There's BJ is my son's name, so it's kind of weird talking BJ. Anyway, so yeah, there's a whole bunch of buyers in there. Go ahead and network. Go ahead and put that post. Um, hey, looking for buyers in whatever area, you'll see, and do that in every group. Every group. I'm sure you won't get in trouble for that. You'll see how fast you'll build your buyers list. I When I moved from Tampa to Georgia, I had to build that buyers list quick, and I built that buyers list of about 300 people in like 2 or 3 days. It was insane, just by doing that, just by going on and networking through virtual social media. Anyway,
Yeah.
so let me put your information on here. Any questions? Going once, going twice. Let me put your information up here, because this is where people can find you.
Just
Hold on
so
one
they can
second.
find me. Yeah.
They can find you. There you go. All right, can you see it? Because if you can see it, I can see it, or they can see it. That's it.
Yep. I can see it. Yep.
Okay,
That's
cool.
that's the website.
All right, cool.
Yep, Facebook, Twitter. You guys are welcome to text me. Text me direct. That's probably the best way. And I'll
That's
get back to you for sure. Just
that's your
mention,
actual number, right?
yeah, that's my actual phone number.
Okay, cool. So that's my boy's Damon's info. And oop, Yvette is typing. So hold on one second.
One
Uh,
more. Come on, we got one more, and that's it. If you're
yeah,
the
we're done.
lucky person, you're the
Oh no,
ninth caller.
typing. She's typing. Yeah, the ninth caller, you get whatever. No, but she was typing on something else. Anyways,
All right,
never mind.
cool.
All right, so that's this is Damon's information. Damon's got to go. You know, settle down with the wife. Probably been mad on the other room, whatever.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks a lot.
But
Thanks.
I had a lot of fun. Underneath the information is off market ninjas information. We have the the Facebook group going on. We have the Facebook page. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Can you subscribe to our page or follow? I guess whatever. And this is our email. All right, email off market ninja email. If you want to be part of the beta group, go ahead and get on that. Let me give you guys my spiel real quick. Before I let you guys, let me remind you that in less than a month, May 1st, we're gonna be launching the beta version of our platform. Let me go back to that. 1 second.
Comment.
There you go. The beta version of a platform. All right. Um, uh, and you will get instant access to nationwide buyers that will buy your deals. So, PJ, you're asking about buyers. This is where you go. They will buy your deals. I already done the work for you. You know what I told you to do? I already done that for you. I have about 10 to 20,000 buyers already ready to go. Just get your deals. It also will include an A through Z wholesaling blueprint that will uh, get you. It will teach you how to get your first deal, how to close your first deal, keep getting deals. Oh, that's my alarm. Hold on 1 second. Event, we got a meeting. That my alarm just went off. Anyway, so you'll be able to get deals. Uh, where was I? You'll be able to keep getting deals. If you already gotten a deal, it will teach you how to build a system that will keep your pipeline full. All right. Then many other features like member calls like these are gonna be part of that membership for only members. You get your questions answered. We'll have a mentor matching service. So like Damon saying, mentors are really really important. We'll be able to match you with mentors. You never know who's legit, who's not. We've done the work. We're gonna do the work for you. And if you want to be part of this incredibly limited beta group, just go ahead and send me an email to ninja@offmarketninja.com. We're only letting in 30 people into this group. It's only $30 a day. Sorry, no, $30 a month for life. Okay, if you're part of
$30.
our that would be great, right? If you start part of our membership, you will still be able to keep the $30 per month. All right, so I'm only letting in 30 people. And also we have the wholesaling mini courses where we go through basic wholesaling uh, basic wholesaling. I lost my place here. Basic wholesaling. Oh, that's on my others. Hold on a second. Basic wholesaling principles, which will be Monday through Friday, at least next week, Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. via Zoom. May go longer, like this would did, depending on the questions that we have. And I'm not leaving any student questions to answer. So get on that. That's only $5, you guys. $5 will get you all the answers, your questions answered. And I also want to let you guys know about Jen. Jen Powers is probably listening. Jen P. It's gonna be
Jenny
with us
P.
next week to answer all the questions we have about dealing with our title agency or title attorneys, whatever it's in your state. She's been in the industry since I don't even know. Jen, if you're there, please let us know how long you've been in the industry. But
She started when she was 14.
right,
Very young.
I mean, I think
Jenny
title, I
P.
think Jen. So it's
Yep. She's the
she
best.
she's the best.
She's
She's the
one of the
best at what she
best.
does. She's been there forever. She's been through at least 20 companies that I know of. So
And
she's
now
been
and from what I know, she
she
owns
had.
She owns
Yep,
her own now.
Viking Title
Yeah,
LLC. I'm giving you a plug, Jen. Viking Title LLC. It's Jen. If you're in Florida, you definitely want to deal with Jen. She knows what she's doing. She's definitely investor friendly. We're going to be talking to her next week, April 10th, 1:15. Um, and yeah, that's all I got, man. So I really want to thank you. Let me go back here. I really want to thank you taking the time, man. I mean, I know I went over a lot. I really could have gone over 2 more hours, but it's really fun talking to you. I want to thank you again. And remember, man, you gotta stay foxy, right?
got to keep it foxy. That's what we all say.
Oh man, I messed that up. I messed that up. Keep it foxy. See,
That's
I've
all
been
right.
watching your videos, but
We
you
we
gotta
we
keep it
knew what you
foxy.
we knew what you meant. We knew. All right, man. Well,
All right,
thanks for
man.
having me on. And yeah, and yeah, Off Market Ninja, it's awesome. And yeah, you guys have a great thing going on here with the group. So anywhere I could help out, let me know.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. All right. We'll talk tomorrow, Damon. I do have some questions for you. Thank you very much. That's a fox, Foxy.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, cool. All right, so stay or keep it foxy. All right. Thank you, guys.
There, guys.
Bye.